Hello and welcome in another episode of Mews R&D MiniPodcast. Today with Vladimír Pinďura, engineering manager from Connectivity Tribe.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
And thanks for joining us because I know you're not from Prague. So how did you travel to Prague?
Yeah, it is so far away that I was traveling by train. It was only 2 hours, so it was manageable.
We had people from further, so good we made it. So today our topic should be engagement, engineering and engagement. Can you tell me why are we going to talk about it, what it is?
Yeah, I know it sounds super boring, but what I like on the topic, that actually it brings us insights that the engineering discipline is not only about the skills, about the tech, about the AI, but it's also about the interactions. And one of the, let's say, metrics, how to measure the interactions and kind of connections within the team is the team engagement.
And how do we measure it? Or do we measure it across the whole company?
Yes, this is what we are doing. I think like the engagement itself, you can feel it. Like when you are in touch with some person, you have a discussion, you can feel that he's...
But it's more difficult for you, right? Because you have a lot of people on remote.
Yeah, so that's my point. Like you feel that he's angry or you feel that he doesn't like you or your topic or he's not engaged.
You have felt that they didn't like you?
100%, like in personal life, like everywhere. I have it everywhere where I just go. But
this is a safe space, by the way.
Okay, good to know. So regarding the way how to measure, like in the engineering, what we are doing, we are asking for the feedback and getting the regular surveys. So it sounds weird, like if you are not good used to it, but I think that there is a real value to have a feedback loop so we can feel the pressure.
But it's centralized, right? It's not like that you said, okay, I want to ask these questions. It's somehow a centralized set of questions that people are asked across the company.
Yeah. You can modify it 100%. You can also get your feedback like during the talks, one-on-one. You can have your questionnaires, but there is a centralized way at Mews to get the engagement from the people and with the different teams.
Can you give us, to those who don't know, what sort of question could be in such an engagement survey?
Yeah. You can think like, for instance, how you would recommend your team. I think that this is... it sounds,
the team specifically, yeah?
Yeah, it can be a super simple question, but it can give you a lot of insights. And these surveys are designed that way that there are very often questions which are somehow related, but they are asked differently. And with that all together, you can have some kind of view how your team behaves or what are the pain points.
So would you maybe connect the two words engagement and ambassadorship together?
Yes. I think so. You will also like maybe why it is so important. Like we are not doing only discipline, which is really which is like point to point. It's exercise, so kind of checkbox exercise. So every time you need to find some proper solution. There can be some issues. So you are relying on the interactions of the people, and the engagement itself can help you to show that there is a good dynamic and basically help you with these things.
So you are creating sort of, and we will get to what it is, engagement, and what do you do to it, but you are doing it for your ICs in your team. How do you stay engaged? Or are you giving all to the team and you're like somewhere in the corner?
Like 100%, you won't be engaged only from the team interactions or from the work interactions. So for myself, I know that I like doing sports. So it is kind of way how I get my endorphin and how I get my energy to work on the different topics. So there are a lot of things which are connected to your engagement. Yeah, it can be your relationship at home. Yeah, I don't know, your family or doing the hikes. But the team dynamics and team engagement is really important because you can imagine that you are spending there, let's say, 10 hours per day.
10 hours per day?
Can happen. If you have a long lunch, why not? Right?
But when we go back to the work, because you mentioned obviously things that are outside of work that connect to everything, but what are the things that keep you engaged in team? Because you are an EM, so was there ever a time you had a crisis of being an EM and when you were thinking, okay, I'm going to go back to the IC, or it's that ship has sailed?
What I just recently because at Mews you are from the community, so you will love it. So there is also like a lot of channels when we are sharing the learnings, right? And one of the engineering managers just recently shared one article how your energy can affect the others. So I think that's something what is super important, because like as you were saying, as an IC you can be productive, as an engineering manager you can also bring bad mood and kind of affect the others. So this is really good to keep it in the mind that you can have a time like for being off or do something what can really empowers you.
And so let's go to how engagement is done in your team. So what are the ways for you to engage the people? And tell me, when was the time when you were like, okay, I'm doing something that is not working maybe? When was that time and how did you change that?
Like what I like, I think it's cliche on every podcast here. Like I'm here 3 years, and in these 3 years, like every half year there was some like bigger change. And after
only every half year,
I would say maybe or half day, I don't know. So we'll see. But the thing is that there was one moment when I was really engaged, because I was managing 2 teams. I was just visiting the customers. I was traveling. Then there was an amazing conference in Berlin. So I really like that. And then there was an additional round of the engagement survey, and the score was really low. And when I was thinking about root cause, and we had a lot of discussions, I was using the mentor to talk about that. I was speaking with my colleagues, directors, and also the teams. We find out that one of the biggest problems was the interactions, like and expectations for myself from the team itself. So that was one moment what I was curious about, and when I thought that I need to do some change, because people were not happy. Like together there were some kind of patterns what I wanted to address. And if you want like to talk about some tips or things, what helped me was
and mainly what helped your team, because I assume now your score is a little better than at the time when you checked your.
Yeah, that's I'm proud of. Like so it can change, but 100% like help to talk about that. And it's kind of boring thing, or you think that there are still like pressure stuff, like the delivery of the projects, right? The technology challenges, etc. But it's good to have some kind of a moment to stop and to have a retro about that things. And for instance, say why you think the grow is something what is not happening in our team. And with that you can also define some actions. And if it is not just like some plan and it will actually happen, it can.
So what are the actions, for example, in like example of your team?
Yeah. For the grow itself, like we are surrounded by the new stuff, by the technology, but it helps us to make it explicit. Yeah? So we said, okay, every week there will be 2 hours for you on Wednesday. Do not work on any project, but do the learnings. And we also established the kind of learning session every Friday. We are sharing the new stuff. We are recording that. We are bringing some fun, and it's actually super interesting, because then you will see like what people likes and what are the things what they learn during the week.
But does it actually work? Because I even when I look at my calendar, I have some blog for now I will be learning, but whenever there is something, I will do it in that time when I was supposed to be learning. So how do you check that they do it, or do you leave it really up to them, and if they want to work, you're fine with that?
I think that like one way how to make it stick is that they would like to present, or there is a this kind of competition like every week that people want to share something like what they've learned. For myself, I have the same, like so I have my focus blog, I have the learning time, and then there is something urgent, so I'm working on that. But personally, I'm also fan of the journaling, so I'm writing down like every day, for instance, what I've accomplished, what things I've learned, etc. So I'm trying to also have some kind of routine which helps me, even though I'm not working with this focus box, as I said.
And all we talk about right now are things, let's say, extra from the day-to-day job. But when I was researching this, researching is maybe too big of a word for what I did, but I read an article where it talked about things part of your daily job that help for the engagement? So like giving more autonomy, giving people the ability to decide for themselves, etc. So how you work with this, because obviously you are still responsible for the success of the team and what comes out of it, but how much do you give how much do you engage them through these kind of day-to-day things?
That's a really good point, because like it is not just about the retro, right? So it's about everyday interaction. So what I recently also found powerful and is when people take the ownership for their responsibility. So for the steps. Like you can imagine, for instance, that we will say, okay, on Wednesday there is this learning time, but they know that they do have some impactful task they would like to deliver. So I'm appreciating that they will reach out and they will say, okay, I need to work on this because I think it's really important. And also the interactions like between the people, everyday interactions is super important, and good engagement 100% is not just only my responsibility. Like there are a lot of people in the team who are working, who are providing the feedback, etc. So this is where I need to also kind of observe and, for instance, give them feedback in case that they are not behaving properly.
And you mentioned one of the times when you kind of, it wasn't that you realized it because of that, but it was a time associated with that, that you returned from a customer visit. So how much do you encourage and how much do your colleagues actually, or your team actually go to visit the customers, because that brings the engagement, because finally they see like what they work on has actual impact, and what they, let's say, messed up, it really messes up somebody else's work. So how much do you encourage this to happen? Like
you are right, because I heard one quote, like the most frustrated engineers are those who you will say that their project has been cancelled after some time. So it can happen. So people really want to deliver the things which are used. Within the team, we do have opportunity, because we are I'm the part of the connectivity, as you were mentioning. So we are connecting to big partners. So multiple times per week there are calls with the other external partners, so with that they can feel the satisfaction that their functions and features are used.
But also, do they go still on the spot to see the customers? Because I know that your work is not exactly just for the hotels, it's also for the big partners that integrate with us. But how much do they spend that? Because I think that's a very powerful when they see, okay, this connection with this door lock is breaking and it's really affecting their operations.
Yeah, you are right. This is unfortunately not happening too often. But when we also had offsite, like all the team meet in person, that was also powerful experience, because like as I was saying, like whole team almost is distributed like across the Europe. So when we meet in person, I heard also from the people that they would like to go to the receptionist or to the back office of the hotel to understand how the system works. And we need to be better in this. Yes.
And how much, because we talk a lot about engineering, because all your direct reports are engineers, but obviously in the team at large, you work with product managers and designers. How much are they involved in the engagement of the team? Or is it purely engineers and like we don't look right to or left?
I'm using something like the staff meeting, so it's basically the way how you communicate unifiedly to hold the team. And so I'm inviting the product manager so we can address, for instance, some topics together, because they are curious, meaning the team is curious, like what is a reason why some project has been cancelled or what is on the roadmap. So she can also give the insights which are valuable for them, and they are part of the discussions.
And is there anything that you thought will definitely work, but actually it didn't work, and you were like, okay, I need to adapt? Because that's also something in that article I read, was that for a manager it's important to be able to adapt, that it's that you listen to the feedback and you actually change your opinion even if you felt very strongly about something.
Like for myself, one thing which I realized, that doesn't just work was the discussions on one-on-ones, because like I used to work a lot of in the one-on-ones, and when you are like a whole day talking with the people, you think that everyone is informed, but it doesn't work that way, like even in the remote, right? Because like everyone has just like the small window of your information, so you need to repeat a lot of stuff during the day. Over communication. So I think that's one thing which is super important.
Yeah, for me and my team, we're always like, we post something on Slack and we let people know in other ways about the meetup that we have in the office, and then in the day we ask somebody, are you going to the meetup? And they're like, oh, there is a meetup. I was like, how is it possible? But you know, when you then look at the light up chats on their Slacks, it's difficult to keep up with everything. So but I think, you know, you mentioned that you cannot spend so much time on one-to-ones, but I really think that through one-to-ones, and even if it's just if it's not only with your direct reports, but with anyone, that's where you can actually build the real connections, because a message on a Slack is very impersonal, as much as we want it to be not true. But I think we sometimes need to accept that some of the things are very difficult to scale when it comes to communication. Yeah,
100%. And it's part of the job of the engineering manager to talk with the people on the one-on-ones. It is not just about the project delivery and stuff which are operative. It's great when there is a relationship that they are sharing something which is important for them. You can also offer some help for them. And part of the journey can be the working of the goals. You can build some kind of plan, like how to progress at Mews, etc. So that's also a kind of important part of the puzzle.
Vlaďa, thank you very much for joining us. And actually, a great way to stay engaged is through community. So you can always, encourage your colleagues to write a blog, speak at a meetup, because I think it is a great way to ambassador your team. And, as you were talking about learning, I think it's a great way to learn. So a little bit of a shameless plug here.
Perfect. Like next time I will ask you about the tips, and I think it will be much better. And
okay,
we'll
switch the tables. Right. Thank you very much. And as always, if you are in Mews, reach out to us on Slack. And if you're not, reach out to us on LinkedIn. I hope Vlaďa responds there. Do you?
For you. Perfect.
Thank you.